A record number of Americans voting, an estimated 113 million. And George, you were up all night anchoring the coverage.
I was, and they're going to be counting those votes for days and weeks to come. It was a night of dramatic swings, a lot of cliffhangers, some important decisions still to come. One thing is for sure. Voters revealed a deeply divided country in so many ways, a passionate country as well. Here's where things stand right now. Democrats have taken control of the House. We see that right there. They're likely to add 30-something seats, but right now it's at 28. Senator and the Senate, Republicans have picked up 2 seats so far, but we still have 3 big races out there they could add to that. And in the states, Democrats have replaced GOP governors in 6 states. President Trump is calling the split decision a tremendous success. Our senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega starts us off right here in Times Square. Good morning, Cecilia.
Hey, George, good morning to you. President Trump may be feeling victorious after last night's results, but now 2 years into his presidency, voters have jolted major changes into his party's control of power. American voters making their voices heard at the ballot box.
I couldn't imagine not being at the polls today. I hope everybody will be.
With tensions running high, the president's influence looming across the country.
I cannot stand the president. I think he's just a faker and a liar, and I hope he gets impeached.
Well, I love President Trump. What can I say? I love him. He's a good president.
Those votes turning to change in the House, where Democrats flipped nearly 30 seats from red to blue.
Thanks to you, tomorrow will be a new day in America.
Sweeping Democrats into control of the House with the power to act as a check on the president.
It's about restoring the Constitution's checks and balances to the Trump administration.
The takeover started close to Washington. Democrat Jennifer Wexton taking a Virginia suburban House seat from Republican Barbara Comstock. Wexton among more than 100 women projected to head to Congress after last night's results.
I've been saying since the beginning of this campaign that change is coming to America.
Now the message from the White House is firm.
The president's agenda isn't going to change regardless of whose party is there.
Throughout the campaign, the president said this election was a referendum on his presidency.
In a sense, I am on the ticket.
His advisors now deflecting blame.
A lot of those consultants who certainly have enriched themselves through these races and perhaps lost some of the races are now going to blame the president here, and they should think about that because candidates and campaigns matter.
They point to the places where the president held rallies and Republicans won, like in Texas, where he campaigned for Senator Ted Cruz. Overnight, Cruz winning a tight race against Democrat Beto O'Rourke, whose energetic campaign brought him within striking distance of the firebrand senator.
I am as inspired, I'm as hopeful as I have ever been in my life, and tonight's loss does nothing to diminish the way that I feel about Texas or this country.
Republicans not only retaining control of the Senate, but gaining several important seats. In Indiana, Republican Mike Braun defeating incumbent Joe Donnelly. And in Missouri, Republican Josh Hawley unseating incumbent Claire McCaskill. In North Dakota, another big Republican pickup, Kevin Cramer defeating Heidi Heitkamp in a state that President Trump won. But Democrats made gains in other state races, taking control of more governor's seats, at least 6, including Illinois, Michigan, New Mexico, and Kansas. But in Georgia, a potentially historic outcome is still on the line.
And I promise you tonight, we're going to make sure that every vote is counted.
Though down in the returns, Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams says she'll continue to fight to be the country's first black female governor.
We believe our chance for a stronger Georgia is just within reach.
On the stump, the president's dark rhetoric often taking center stage.
If you want more caravans, if you want more crime, vote Democrat tomorrow.
Some newly elected, including those backed by the president, now calling for a change in tone.
The one thing I would love to see change in politics is it's gotten way too nasty on both sides.
Well, we will see if that changes this morning. The president's tone is celebratory. He's once again touting a big victory on Twitter. And we now expect to hear from him later today, a press conference in just a few hours. Sources tell us he is thrilled with the election results, especially those states where he campaigned, like Indiana and North Dakota. Big Senate seats.
Yeah, he could go on for some time at that press conference. Also last night, he called the Democratic leader, Nancy Pelosi. The big question now is, are there places they can work together?
Yeah, well, he called to extend congratulations and applaud her call for bipartisanship. Look, they
there potentially could be some cooperation on something like infrastructure, but they have to pass a funding bill. They're facing a government shutdown in a matter of weeks.
Yeah.